What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the stream, guys. It's been a while. We haven't streamed in a good minute. It's been since I think Thursday. That was our last stream. We've only had some showdown slates lately. You guys know I don't really stream on the weekends. That's kind of my time away. But we're back for Monday's two gamer. As always, guys, we're gonna talk through this two game slate for the next 30 minutes or so. Just answer any questions you got. Lineup specific questions, 2v2s, 3v3s, whatever it is. Be sure to throw your questions in chat, and I'll be sure to answer them. Before we do get started with the Q&A, I do want to hit on some super chats we got before I went live. My man T Money, $2 super chat. He says, "Goat, you the man. Let's crush it tonight." Appreciate you, T Money. Appreciate your support as always. If you're still in here, thank you for the $2 super chat, my man, and my man Patrick as well. Both of you guys have been supporting the channel for so long. Super chatting. Your members. I greatly appreciate both of you guys, T Money and Patrick. Patrick says, "You're truly the GOAT, and I really hope you cash big tonight." Hey, same to you, my man, Patrick. Same to you, brother. Thank you for the $5 super chat. So I did want to hit on that first, guys, but yeah, let's talk about tonight's slate. Definitely feels like a slate where you're gonna be loading up on Brooklyn. I've kind of been working on my lineups, before I went live, playing a lot of nets. There's gonna be pretty much every lineup I built already has at least like 3 nets in it. So KD, Kyrie, clearly the best value today comes from Brooklyn. Really like Blake Griffin, really like Bruce Brown. It's tough to not have interest in the Nets today. If you want to get contrarian on this slate, it's hard to find a way to get different on a 2-game slate. If you want to get different tonight, just don't play any Nets. But I don't think that's the smart decision. Are you interested in Bruce Brown, 3.8K, Mike James, 3.3K? Yeah, I think both those guys look like great value plays, Adam. Bruce Brown should start in place of James Harden tonight. He was the first guy off the bench last game when Harden got injured. He started the second half for Harden. So I'm expecting Bruce Brown to start, probably play 25, close to 30 minutes for 3.8K. Clearly a top value on a 2-game slate. And then Mike James, I don't know if Mike James plays 30 minutes again. He played 30 minutes last game. I don't know if he gets 30 minutes again, but for 3.3K, it seems like he's kind of the backup guard that they want to give the minutes to. Tyler Johnson barely played last game. So even if we get like 22, 24 minutes from Mike James, he's another good value play. So Bruce Brown, Mike James, Blake Griffin, I think those are some of the best values right now. And they're going to be chalky, but for good reason, I do feel like. You the GOAT, no one, no cap. Going complete stars and scrubs. Let's see what happens and hope it goes well. If there was a playoff slate where you could actually do it, I think it would be today. Because again, like I said, we have some value guys. You got Griffin, Bruce Brown, Mike James are all cheap. You could play 3 studs today. You could make it work pretty easily. If you wanted to play Giannis, Durant, KD, or Durant and Kyrie, like if you want to play all 3 of those guys in one lineup, you probably could on this slate, I think. Right now, I got CP3, Kyrie, Morris, Porter Jr., KD, Blake, Lopez, Mike James. What you think? I think that looks pretty good, Braden. I like all those guys tonight, so yeah, I'm fine with that. How do you feel about Ayton tonight? I think Ayton's a decent option just given the lack of options at center. I don't think Ayton stands out specifically as like a top play today. But when you just look at the center position, like especially on Yahoo, you really only have like 3 playable centers on Yahoo. You're either paying up for Jokic, you're going to Ayton, or you're playing Brook Lopez. So I think Ayton's a guy that I'm more likely to play on Yahoo than Draftkings, but he's still fine on DK. Just given, centers. It's a 2-game slate. You have to play at least one center. That's when I would, look to Ayton. Jokic or Giannis. It's so close for me, Taekwon. I think on Yahoo, I lean Jokic, just given, again, there's only 3 playable options at center, in my opinion. So I think I prefer Jokic on Yahoo, but on DraftKings, I probably would rather go to Giannis. It's super close, though. Both guys are clearly great plays on a 2-gamer. Booker or Irving, I definitely prefer Kyrie. I think Kyrie is probably one of my favorite plays today. And he's going to be popular, but, without Harden, Kyrie should be close to 10K. He does feel a little bit too cheap right now at 9,200. You think Monte Morris is a good play? Yeah, I've been playing Monte Morris a lot lately. He's been playing super well. He played really good in that Portland series. He probably comes off the bench again, but still gets probably like 30 minutes. He's been productive. Without Jamal Murray, the opportunity is going to be there for Monte Morris. So, yeah, I still do like Monte Morris. His price is coming up, but clearly still a good option in my opinion. Thanks, Noah the GOAT, for what you do. What do you think of this? James, Booker, Bruce, KD, Jokic, Morris, Blake, Claxton, or JaMychal? I think that looks good, John. I don't think I'd play Blake and Claxton together because I think both those guys kind of take minutes away from each other. Like, I doubt you're going to see Griffin and Claxton on the floor at the same time. I don't think they really played at all alongside each other last game. So for that reason, I probably would rather go with JaMychal Green over Claxton since you're playing Blake Griffin. But that's a solid lineup. Giannis or Jokic? Yeah, again, I think on DraftKings, I lean Giannis. On Yahoo, I lean Jokic because he's a little bit cheaper. Love your live streams. Thanks. I appreciate that, Danny. I'm glad you enjoy the streams, man. Glad you enjoy the streams. Green, Tucker, Pat, or James? I'd probably go Mike James there. I'd probably go Mike James. But, if PJ Tucker starts again, obviously nobody really wants to play PJ Tucker, but he's going to start, probably get like 25 to 30 minutes on a 2-game slate at 3.2K. If PJ Tucker starts again, he's playable for sure. But I probably would still rather play Mike James. Yahoo, Irving, Tucker, or Booker, Gordon, or Booker, Crowder. Irving, Tucker, Booker, Gordon, Booker, Crowder. Give me Booker and Crowder, I think. That's close. I mean, I do like Kyrie a lot, but obviously PJ Tucker, I don't know if I want to go to on Yahoo. I think I'd be more likely to play him on DraftKings. So I'd probably go Booker and Crowder, I think. If you had to pick one, Bruce Brown or Mike James, definitely Bruce Brown. He's a little bit more expensive, but I do prefer Bruce Brown between the two. But both are good options, obviously. Both are really good value plays. Bruce Brown, I think last game only played like 21 minutes, and he could definitely get more minutes today. Like, I don't know if Mike James plays 30. Maybe Mike James plays 25, and then you see Bruce Brown get like 26. And if Bruce Brown plays like 26 minutes, he's going to very likely pay off 3,800. So, Noah, I hope all is well, and good luck to you and everyone tonight. Do you like Shamet at all? I don't think so, Patrick. I mean, last game, he didn't play much at all off the bench. They ran an 8-man rotation last game, but Shamet still only got 12 minutes. He could play more than that today. Like, he definitely could get 18 to 20 minutes. He could maybe play like 22. For 3K stone minimum, he's viable on a 2-game slate, but I don't have a ton of confidence in Landry Shamet. He's playable, but not a guy that I think I'm personally going to be going to. How you feel about Bryn Forbes on DK? I think he's too expensive. He's like 4,500. If he was 3,500, I would like Bryn Forbes, but at 4,500, no interest on DK. But if you want to play him on Yahoo, he's minimum salary, so I think he's fine over there. What do you think of this? James, Kyrie, Bruce Brown, Griffin, Jokic, Morris, Bridges, Booker. I like that, Brandon. I think that's very solid. Very solid. I think Booker is going to be low owned on DraftKings, so if you want to go to him for low ownership, I'm totally fine with it. He doesn't stand out as like a top play today, which is definitely going to make his ownership low on this 2-game slate. Good luck tonight. Hey, good luck to you as well, Rob. Good luck to you as well. I wasn't sure if you were being serious there, but yeah, good luck to you as well. Appreciate live streams. Hey, thanks for tuning in, my man. Thanks for tuning in. MPJ for Yahoo is still only $28. He's a very good play. Yeah, I agree. I like MPJ on both sites. I mean, I think on DraftKings at 7,100, he still looks like a good option on DraftKings too. MPJ's been inconsistent this season, but when he gets going, he has upside for sure, and he's been playing really well, especially towards the end of that Portland series. MPJ was playing really well. Hopefully he can keep that going tonight. You think Ayton will look good versus Jokic? I mean, I don't want to say like he's going to look good, but I think he's gonna have to be out there. I mean, he's going to have to play as many minutes as he can. Basically, he's going to have to match Jokic, I think. So that alone makes Ayton viable, but again, I don't think he stands out as a top play today, just in my opinion. I'd be more likely to play Ayton on Yahoo, where you have to play at least one center, and there's really only 3 playable centers on Yahoo, in my opinion. PJ Tucker, Pat Connaughton, or Bobby Portis? I mean, I'd probably go Bobby Portis there if you have his salary. Is Booker a must-play tonight? I mean, I wouldn't think so, but he's a good tournament option because he's going to be low-owned on DraftKings, I would assume. He's projected at 44%. I mean, that feels a little bit high. I think he'll come in under than that, to be honest with you. But I guess we'll see. Even on a 2-game slate, like 40% is not crazy high. Griffin, Rivers, Brown, or Bridges? Probably go Blake Griffin there. Crowder or Griffin? Give me Blake Griffin. I mean, Blake Griffin, if he plays even close to 35 minutes again, he's going to easily pay off 4,100. And I think Blake Griffin's going to be, he should be more productive with Harden off the floor. Blake Griffin, so far this season with the Nets, hasn't been a very productive player. But I think with Harden out, that definitely helps Griffin. That really just helps everybody. So, yeah, I do like Blake Griffin a good amount tonight. It's hard not to like him at 4,100 on DK. How are you, Noah? Thanks for all you do. I appreciate that, man. I'm doing well. I'm doing well. Can't complain. What's your thoughts on this lineup? Paul, Irving, Durant, Crowder, Griffin, Monte Morris, Porter, Forbes. I think that's pretty solid, Ted. I mean, Forbes is like the wild card there, but again, if he fits into your build, I'm fine playing him. On DraftKings, I'm not that high on Forbes, but he's fine if he fits. I mean, on DraftKings, I'd probably rather play Austin Rivers over Forbes, I think. Any interest in Teague? I don't think I'd go to Jeff Teague on this slate. Like, I don't think he played much last game. How many minutes? Yeah, he only played 14 minutes last game. I mean, you're probably only going to get, 10 to 12 minutes from Jeff Teague, and he barely played in the Brooklyn or in the Miami series. Yeah, like he wasn't even in the rotation really in the Miami series. So I have no idea how many minutes Teague plays. I don't think he plays enough to be viable. Peace fam, love your content. Who's your number one play on DK tonight? I mean, when you factor in like salary, it's probably one of those cheap value guys from Brooklyn that we mentioned. Either Bruce Brown or Blake Griffin. I like Kyrie as a spend up a lot, but it's going to be a Brooklyn guy for sure. I mean, Brooklyn's a team I'm loading up on tonight. Noah, got any thoughts on Chris Paul? I like Chris Paul a good amount in the mid-range. I think Chris Paul is definitely underpriced. We saw him, obviously, in that series against the Lakers, he got injured. He wasn't playing his full minutes, all this and that, but he's had some time to rest up. He was starting to trend up towards the end of the Lakers series, and then obviously the series ended. He played like 29 minutes in that Game 6 game. I think we get full minutes from Chris Paul tonight. If Chris Paul plays 35, 36 minutes, it's going to be hard for him not to get there at 6,500. Like, he's way too cheap right now. The one concern is his health. We don't know if he's fully healthy, but I'll assume, after 3-4 days to rest up, I think Chris Paul should be full go tonight. And if that's the case, he's definitely way too cheap. He's one of my favorite mid-range options, I would say. Talking about guys from 5K to 7K, Chris Paul is definitely one of my favorites. Him and MPJ. Jay Crowder and Mikal Bridges, I really think it's a coin flip there. I mean, it's been a coin flip for the last week or so, picking Crowder or Bridges. They both project super similarly. They both probably play similar minutes. I've been playing Crowder lately over Bridges. Some games Bridges outscores Crowder. Some games Crowder outscores Bridges. It's super close, but I think I'd give that edge to Crowder. What did Jokic's numbers look like this season against Phoenix? You can look it up, or I know DraftKings has it on the game log. If you go to splits, you can look versus Phoenix. He's played 3 games against Phoenix. We don't really know, if he played full minutes or what, but it looks like in those 3 games he averaged 37 minutes per game. So it looks like he played full minutes in all those games. Averaged 59 DraftKings points per game against Phoenix through 3 games. So that's pretty solid. I mean, that's not obviously, if we're paying 10-8 for Jokic, we want more than 59. We want like 70, but he had success against Phoenix, or he was okay against them. I don't think this is like a bad matchup for Jokic. I think he should do just fine against Ayton. Brooklyn is bad against center, so Lopez should do well, but since Ayton will need to be out there, which route do you think is better? Keep in mind, Lopez $9 cheaper. I mean, on Yahoo, I'm playing 20 lineups in their baller contest, and right now I have more exposure to Ayton than I do Lopez. So I would say if you can get the salary to get up to Ayton, I'd probably lean that route. But both guys are in my player pool. Like, I think I have 15% Lopez and like 35% Ayton. So I'd lean Ayton there if you can fit him. Studs and scrubs tonight. I mean, if this is the one slate where I think it's actually viable. You can play. Like, let's see. So we've talked about Blake Griffin, Bruce Brown, Mike James, who I think are, some of the better values on this slate. You play those 3 guys, that leaves you with, that leaves you with 77.60 remaining per player. You have plenty of salary to get at least 2 studs in, if not a third stud. So yeah, you can definitely play multiple studs on this slate. This is the one slate, in a while where it's been viable to go stars and scrubs. Best play under 5K and thoughts on PJ Tucker? I mean, it's probably Blake Griffin or Bruce Brown. That's probably the chalky answer, but those are the guys I like most under 5K. And then thoughts on PJ Tucker? Again, if he starts, he probably plays like 25 to 30 minutes. It's PJ Tucker. He doesn't have a ton of upside, but if you're going to get PJ Tucker starting and playing 30 minutes for 3,200, PJ Tucker could give you 18, 20 DraftKings points in 30 minutes and be a solid value. So I'm fine with PJ Tucker if he starts. He's not like a top value or anything, but he'll be in my player pool if he's starting again. Top studs today for cash games on DK. I mean, if you're playing cash games, I think you'd probably want to build around. For me, I would probably be building around Giannis, Kyrie, and maybe Kevin Durant if you can fit him. But I think you want two of those three. Between Giannis, KD, Kyrie, I think you want two of those three in cash. James, Booker, Morris, Brown, Griffin, Durant, Jokic, Crowder. I think that's a pretty solid tech one. Hey man, how's this lineup? James, Holiday, KD, Giannis, Brown, Paul, Griffin, PJ Tucker. That looks very solid, Ryan. I like it. I apologize if I missed your thoughts on Cameron Payne. Yeah, I don't have that much interest in Cameron Payne, especially because Chris Paul's minutes are going to start trending up at some point. Like, if Chris Paul plays 36 minutes tonight, I have no idea how many minutes Cameron Payne plays. Could he play some alongside Paul and Booker? He could. Like, they've run some time where you do have all three of those guys on the floor. But I think if we're getting 40 minutes from Devin Booker, if we're getting 36 minutes from Chris Paul, how many minutes does Cameron Payne, have the opportunity to play? What, 20 maybe? Like, I think Cameron Payne is going to be a guy I avoid. Right now, like, he's not in my Draftkings lineup, and in my 20 lineups on Yahoo, I think I have him in just one lineup. So, yeah, I don't have much interest in Cameron Payne. Obviously, if Chris Paul goes out there and he's not fully healthy and Chris Paul only plays 25 minutes tonight, then, yeah, Cameron Payne probably has a good game and plays more minutes than I expect. But I'm expecting Chris Paul to play his full minutes. So, if that's the case, not much interest in Payne for me. Thoughts on this? CP3, Morris, Bruce Brown, Giannis, Jokic, Mike James, Griffin, Lopez. I think that's solid, Patrick. I like that. I like that a lot. Jokic had a game where he grabbed 22 boards against Phoenix. That's impressive. I didn't know that. I mean, Ayton's never really been like an elite defender by any means. So, I mean, I don't really get worried about matchup when it comes to a guy like Jokic anyway. But yeah, against Ayton, I'm not worried about Jokic having a bad game. I mean, Jokic should do well here. It's just a matter of, you can't play all these studs, so you're going to have to pick and choose which ones to go to. Is 7 Brooklyn players too much? I don't even know if you could do that on DraftKings, honestly. I'm pretty sure like the max you can play from one team is like 6, I think. Because you have to play guys from at least 2 games. So in that case, well, I guess I don't know. I don't think you can play 7. So yeah, 7 probably too much. I think the max amount of Brooklyn guys I'd play on this slate is probably 5. 5 nets is honestly fine with me, but I think 4 is kind of like 3 to 4 nets is the sweet spot, I think. You think Griffin is a trap? If he plays 35 minutes again, no. Like, he's going to probably pay off his salary, but that's the one question mark. Like, we don't know for a fact that Blake Griffin's going to play 35 minutes again, but I think without James Harden, like, that just frees up so many minutes. Like, they can just run different lineups when Harden's not out there. Obviously when Harden's out there, you're going to get 40 minutes from Kyrie, 40 minutes from Harden, 40 minutes from KD. So that, you have to figure out those last 2 spots. Who's going to get those last 2 spots in the closing lineup? Sometimes Joe Harris is probably going to be out there in the closing lineup, and then most of the time Blake Griffin's not going to be out there. Now that you take Harden out, I think that's going to allow for Blake Griffin just to be on the floor more because they can just run different lineups, get him more minutes. And this is also a matchup against a Milwaukee team that's pretty big. I mean, they have Brook Lopez out there. They have Giannis out there. If Blake Griffin plays 30-plus minutes, he's going to be probably a guy you have to have, if I had to guess. Noah the GOAT, I appreciate that, Chris. Appreciate that, man. Okay to fade Blake. I mean, that's a risky fade, but if you want to get different, like, that's a good way. Like, Blake Griffin's going to be 60, 70% owned, maybe higher than that. You could fade it, but me personally, Ned, I'm playing Blake Griffin on this slate. He's going to be in my DraftKings lineup, and in my 20 lineups on Yahoo, I think I have like 80% or 85% Blake Griffin. He's going to be a big part of my lineups. So I'm not fading him, but I guess you could if you wanted to get different. I mean, I think the one way that Blake Griffin fails is he just doesn't play the minutes that we expect him to. But given how well he played last game, you would have to think they're going to give him the minutes again. Shamet in play, yeah, we kind of mentioned him earlier. I think somebody asked a question about Shamet. He's 3K on DraftKings. He played 12 minutes last game. He could play more than that. Brooklyn pretty much ran an 8-man rotation last game, so Shamet probably gets at least like 15, maybe 20 minutes. He could play more. Like, if he goes out there and Shamet just starts knocking down threes, they're going to play him more than 12 minutes. But if he's out there and he's not doing much, then, maybe he only gets 12, 14 minutes. It's a risky play, but at 3K, it's fine. I don't have Shamet currently in my player pool, but if you wanted to go with him T-Money, I don't mind it. Do you like Durant? I mean, yeah, it's hard not to like Durant. Without Harden, him and Kyrie are just going to run the entire offense. They're going to dominate the usage. The only issue is that, there's a lot of other studs to go to. You have Jokic, you have Giannis. You can't play all these guys. So I think right now, factoring in salary, Kyrie's my favorite stud. It's close between Giannis, Jokic, Durant. I think I'm leaning Giannis second favorite. And then, it's just a coin flip between Jokic and Durant. Payne or Forbes? I mean, I would play Payne there if you have the salary. Payne's a lot more expensive, but if you can fit him, I'd play him over Forbes. Sorry if you answered this, but I had to get my dogs. Paul, Irving, Durant, Crowder, Griffin. Yeah, I think I already mentioned that, Ted. I mean, I like that lineup. The only issue I have is Forbes. His price on Draftkings is a little high for my liking, but the rest I'm fine with. Durant or Jokic on DK? If you already have Giannis, I probably would just go with Durant, honestly. I mean, I think playing Giannis and Durant together is probably good correlation because if it's a close game, if it's high scoring, you're probably going to get big games from both Durant and Giannis. I mean, clearly, the Milwaukee-Brooklyn game is clearly the better game to target on this slate, and that's going to be the game I have the most exposure to, between the two. So I'd probably go Durant there. JaMychal Green or Tucker? I mean, I think the minutes alone just make PJ Tucker the better play. Like, I think PJ Tucker plays, 8 to 10 more minutes than JaMychal Green does. So I'd probably give the edge to him, but it's definitely close. I mean, JaMychal Green could outscore PJ Tucker JaMychal Green could play 15 minutes and outscore PJ Tucker if he plays 30 minutes. But I think minutes alone make Tucker the guy I'd prefer. I mean, I haven't played JaMychal Green at all, in the playoffs. He's just not a guy that I really play. How about this? Mike James, Monte Morris, Durant, Giannis, Ayton, Brown, Forbes and Portis, or Rivers and Lopez? I'd go Rivers and Lopez. So Mike James, Monte Morris, Durant, Giannis, Ayton, Brown, Rivers, Lopez. I think that's solid, Jack. Gordon, Crowder, Morris, or Lopez? Give me Monte Morris. Durant or Giannis? I lean Giannis, but it's definitely close, Jason. But I think I lean Giannis over Durant. Lopez, Crowder, or Bridges? I think I'd go Crowder there, but it's close between him and Lopez. I think I'd give the edge to Crowder, though. D-Book outscoring Durant and winning me the tournament. That's a hot take. That's a hot take, Jacob. I mean, I don't see that happening, but yeah, if you want to play Devin Booker, I don't think he's not going to be nearly as high owned as Jokic, or nearly as high owned as Durant, Irving, Giannis will be. I don't see him outscoring Durant, though, but he could, I guess. He could. Booker or CP3? I mean, factoring in price, factoring in how much cheaper Chris Paul is, I would rather play Chris Paul for the price. But if you're just saying who scores more, give me Booker. If you're just asking who scores more points. Favorite Denver guard? It's probably Monte Morris. I mean, it's got to be Monte Morris at this point. With how well he's playing right now, give me Monte Morris. Hey, Noah, thanks for the videos. What do you think about Connaughton or Forbes? I mean, Connaughton last game, went back to the bench. PJ Tucker started over him, and he didn't play a ton. Connaughton he played 20 minutes, but he still wasn't productive in that time. I mean, Connaughton probably, if he comes off the bench again, my best guess, he plays like 15 to 20 minutes, which makes him viable at 3,500, but not a guy that I feel like you really have to go to. I think there's better value on the slate. And then Forbes, I would like if he was cheaper, but at 4,500, I think Forbes is just too expensive on DraftKings. Like, you're gonna need Forbes to have a massive ceiling game to pay off 4,500. So I don't have much interest in Forbes on DK. I think he's a good play on Yahoo though at minimum salary. And then Connaughton, he's fine, but I don't like him as much now that he's back to the bench. Thoughts on LeBron and Jokic stack? Yeah, man, I hate it, man. Hate it for my Lakers. I mean, I think LeBron, you can see it's kind of, the age is kind of getting to him at this point. I don't know how many more years LeBron's got in him, but he just didn't look like, I don't know. He didn't look fully healthy. I won't say fully healthy, but he didn't look like his old self in that in that Suns series. Like, he wasn't attacking the rim, he wasn't being that aggressive. Like, I mean, I think it was 2018 when he was with the Cavs. I mean, that was the most dominant I've seen LeBron in so long. I mean, he was so good back then. I think he needs AD out there, I mean, at this point. Not having AD out there to kind of take some of the load off LeBron it's tough, man. The guy's old, but he's still so good. I mean, the fact that LeBron's out there doing what he does at his age, the people that hate on LeBron, I mean, they're stupid. I don't see how they do it. I can understand if you want to hate on him like off the court and how he complains to the refs. I get that, but the basketball skill, like LeBron's one of the greatest basketball players I've ever watched, and I stand by that take. James Irving, Durant, Griffin, Giannis, Rivers, Brown, Portis. I think that's solid, Bill. I mean, Portis, I don't love Portis. Like I don't really play Portis when the Bucks are fully healthy, but I think that's solid. I mean, the rest I like. He'll get some rest now. That is true. That is true, Jacob. Would you rather go Green, Jokic, or Durant, Portis? Probably Green and Jokic, I think, but that's close, Bill. That's God. I think I'd probably lean Durant, Portis, but yeah, that's super close. I think give me Durant, Portis though. Lopez, Payne, Bridges. If you had to pick one, it would be between Lopez or Bridges for me. I think I'd give the edge to Lopez, Brandon. So I think I'd go Lopez there. LeBron has the best basketball IQ ever. I mean, I kind of agree with that. Yeah, like LeBron's, he knows he's so smart when he's on the court. He knows he sees everyone. You don't think LeBron sees a guy in the corner, but he sees everybody. Like his vision on the court is just insane. Would you take a chance on Portis? I mean, yeah, like I mentioned, Portis is not a guy that I really play when the Bucks are fully healthy. But again, it's a 2-game slate. Bobby Portis probably plays like 18, 20 minutes. Could he give you 25 DraftKings points in that time? He absolutely could. But, Portis' upside is definitely not that high. Now that his minutes are going to not be that high. So that really just caps his upside, in my opinion. We went from LeBron James to Mike James. You're the man, Noah. Much appreciated. Hey, thank you, Ned. Thank you, my man. Appreciate you tuning in, as always. All right, guys, I think I'm going to wrap up the stream here. We've been live for about 30 minutes or so, so I do appreciate you guys tuning in as always. I hope you did enjoy the stream. Hopefully, I was able to answer everyone's questions. We should be back tomorrow with another stream for Tuesday. I think we have another 2-game slate tomorrow, so I'll see you guys Tuesday afternoon. Hopefully, you'll tune in for Tuesday's stream. I'll obviously have a video up for Tuesday. That'll go up later tonight. But yeah, guys, hit the like button before you get out of here. Best of luck as always, and we'll see you tomorrow. Good luck, fellas. Good luck tonight.